guys cold? Because I'm cold. Who thought tall ceilings were a good idea? This sucks. Come on, shitty little heater. You can do it. Oh, it's all just going right out the roof. Damn it. Okay, so today we are back to work on the RX-7. Whew, we're really cranking things out lately. Let me show you kind of where we left off. Did I ever show you guys these wheels? I don't know if I did. I got wheels. Well, you knew about the wheels. I got tires too. Those things look fucking beef, dude. I'm so excited about those. And then we got the tank sumped. Excited about that. Air checked it. Everything's good. Didn't leak. We cut a hole in the fender. I am mocking up some of the lines for everything. So like there's the oil feed line going down to the block on the side of the pan. Let's see. I'm playing around with that tiny little radiator I had because I already bought it and I had it. And truth be told, I think it'll be enough, but I don't know, because I mean it's girthy. And then got the intercooler tucked up there better. It was hanging down before. That's not permanent either. That's just sitting in there. Almost every fitting that I need for the fuel system. Almost. I got my Y the other day. Why? I don't know. So the only thing I need now are some new fuel rails, and then I could run the line now, but I'll just wait until it's really urgent. I got the tensioner for the F-body pump, and I got a rough idea on how the belt is going to be routed, most likely. First impression is, yeah, there might not be enough on the crank, you know what I mean? Like it's only grabbing a third of it, but people have run it and they were like, yeah, I didn't have any problems, so whatever. I'm going to need a different thermostat housing. This part will probably put me over budget, but I may do like AN fittings, you know what I mean? So there's two ways I can do that. Either I can get like direct AN fittings, have one either welded, maybe pressed in here, and then cut these ones off the radiator and weld them on there, or they make little adapters that I can just use a small piece of hose and it'll come out to like there, and then just make some line. And speaking of budget, I don't remember when the last time I gave an update on that was. So if you don't remember, the plan for this car was a street car and drive it to the track, run 10s, and drive it back home. And right away, that's probably like, yeah, who gives a shit? That's easy. But I'm trying to do that for $4,000 all in, including the purchase of the car, everything. And that's where it gets kind of tricky. Not so much because of the price, because, I mean, it's definitely doable. The tricky part is this chassis. There's a lot of inconveniences, I guess we'll say. Like one was that rear end. The stock rear end, no bueno. The stock cooling system, no bueno. Just trying to fit things in here and work around things like that whole steering system fucking sucks. If you guys keep up with Meticulous, he said that he's doing something I've thought about doing, but I'm trying to stick to the budget, which is like just completely swap in a different front end. I really want to do this in budget, or at least as close to the budget as I can. One, because I'm poor, and two, because I think it's cool. So no front end swap for me in the near future. And then I really wanted to do a turbo LS. With the budget and stuff like that, it probably would have been easier and cheaper and easier to just do like a nitrous small block. But at the end of the day, nitrous small blocks don't really get me hard. I wanted a turbo LS and I wanted it under the hood, which we are definitely doing. I know the hood's been off it for a while, but it does clear everything. This is just sitting there. It'll probably be up about here once the hood's actually bolted on. So how much have I spent on the car so far? Well, the car itself was 400 bucks. The engine, this is where it gets kind of tricky, because the engine I paid 600 bucks for like 4 or 5 years ago, and then I sold the engine, and then I got it back on labor. So to me, the engine's free, right? I mean, that makes sense to me. It's a free engine. The transmission, believe it or not, was given to me. It's a Power Glide. That one I got for 20 bucks, if that, you know, makes you feel any better about that. But I'm gonna say I got that Power Glide for free, because truth be told, I did. If you're doing a budget build, you gotta have some friends with some connections and shit like that, or just have parts that they don't give a shit about anymore. And then the rear end was 126 bucks. from LKQ with the passenger axle. I cut that down and everything myself. So for the complete drivetrain, minus obviously the drive shaft, I haven't had that made yet, but for the complete drivetrain, I've got less than 200 bucks into it. And then we get into the other shit like this, like the water pump and the spacers. I've got, I think, 80 bucks into, because the water pump's just a China reman. So that was like 55 bucks on eBay. The spacers are from, I think, ICT Billet, so they're like, what, 35 bucks? Something like that. The fuel pressure regulator is actually leftover parts. So, I mean, that's where, like I said, that's where shit gets tricky. So, like, that's leftover parts. For the purpose of this, that's free. And then, like, the turbo kit, I just flipped the manifolds, ordered some 2.5-inch pipe and some V-bands, made that all myself. I've got 30 bucks into that. The turbo is just a China eBay 7875. It's not even the VS Racing one. I went cheaper than that. That was, God, how much was that? I think that was 240 bucks, maybe. Ooh, here's the part that might piss some of you guys off, because I know some of you are like, you have a weird shifter kink, and I kind of do too. Like, if the vehicle has a trashy shifter, it kind of kills it for you. It kills the whole driving experience. So check this out. This is, for the most part, a fairly new Hurst quarter stick. And this is like a gangster ass shifter. I love these. These give me morning wood. And I've got what appears to be a brand new cable and the cover that I don't know if I'll use. Got that all for 75 bucks. So I'm pretty pumped about that. Anyway, I'm gonna quit dragging my feet. How much have I spent on the car so far? So including everything you see here, plus a few parts that are still gonna show up. But for everything you see here, wheels and tires too, and some of those that I'll get to in a second, I have spent $3,000 out of pocket. That's not bad, I think. So let's get into some of the things that are left to do on the car. We'll just start at the front and work our way back. Obviously, I need to finish the wiring. I got started on it, and then I'm just getting really poorly motivated to keep going. I need to finish the cooling system. That's not going to be very much. I need to finish the intercooler pipes. That's not going to be very much. I need to pull the engine out and put a oil pan gasket in. I need to run the turbo drain line, stuff like that. And then I need to get a converter and a turbo input shaft for the Power Glide. That'll be like $400, $450. So that takes up about half of what I've got left to spend on the car. And then I still need a drive shaft. That'll be about 300 bucks. So let's say 750. That leaves me 250 bucks. The front suspension, I'm probably just gonna leave that alone. That should be fine. The stock front suspension worked well for Hayden's. He went like, he had really good 60 foots. I don't remember specifics, but he did good. So it'll work for me, hopefully. The part that I'm kind of thinking will fuck me a little bit is the rear end geometry, because all I did was just weld the brackets from the stock rear end onto this one. So the suspension geometry is kind of weird. So they meet like somewhere in here. It's real short. So it might want to get a little squirrely off the line, like if it unloads. But we'll just have to see what happens. And then as far as the suspension goes, I have some new shocks and springs. I got too excited and I unboxed them without you guys. These are Strange single adjustable shocks. They're for like a Fox Body Mustang. Red Rum RX-7 on Instagram. He was like, hey man, here's what I'm doing with my car. And I was like, sweet, noted. Yeah, his car is badass. I don't think he went with these ones. He was like, just get whatever ones for a Fox Body Mustang, they'll work. And these were like 140 bucks for the pair, something like that, and they're single adjustable. I was gonna go with just like the Lakewood ones, but I don't know, I wanted to try something else. And then I've got some AFCO racing springs. These are, I think, 125 rate, if I remember correctly. Yeah, 125. So for anybody doing something similar, here's the part number I got. So what I'm gonna do now is get the car jacked up and start pulling the rear suspension out of it, and we'll start throwing the other shit back in it. I believe. Oh wow. Wow. Huh, I've never touched these shocks, but those are some loose boys. There's that. The top nut is off, so all we gotta do is just, oh, tug it and bash your fucking knuckles. Ouch! Alright, we got it though. Let's get the other side before I celebrate too much. Alright, both shocks are out, and they've definitely been in there for a little bit, but you can see them right there compared to the Fox body style shock. This is the bolt for it. Slides right in there. It's a tiny bit sloppy, but I think it'll be fine. Let me set that back in my way so I don't lose it. Now, I think if I just drop the jack down, these springs might just fall out on their own. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. I don't have the car up far enough, damn it. Alright, so I was going to let air out of the tires to drop the rear end more, and then I thought, aha, Josh, you're not an idiot, just cut out the middleman. Let's just take the tires right off. Don't be an idiot. So I think this might, we'll see. As long as the suspension can droop enough, I might be able to lower the rear end now enough to get these springs out. You can see those are tall motherfuckers. They took up their ways. There might be enough. Oh, a little bit more just for comfort. Alright. And there we go. Let's get this other side out. Swag. These are tiny little boys, aren't they? Here is our new AFCO spring, half coil. There is a little bit of a difference. So I think what I'm gonna do is just put these in there first and see where they sit. I'm gonna get these thrown in and put the wheels back on the car, drop it down, see where it sits before I start cutting any of these. All right, wheels are back on. Let's try to drop it down slowly if this jack ever, come on, there we go. Let's see if we can. That thing is so bouncy. I do think that it actually came down a little bit. Oh yeah, before that was like 2.5 fingers. You know what, that might be perfect, dude, honestly. Where's this one at? Dude, are they about the same? You're kidding me. Fuck, that might be perfect, holy shit. I think we nailed it. Let's not even fucking cut them. Because they are gonna settle a little bit too. Holy shit, let's just throw the shocks in. Look how bouncy that fucker is. Oops. Fuck yeah, dude. Send it, bro. That looks fucking sick. Let's get the shocks in it and then we're done with it. At least, done with it. All right, got the passenger side shock in. I got it set at 5 right now, just kind of a neutral setting. Yes, I know that these aren't all tightened. I'm not driving the car anytime soon, but these do in fact fit perfect. I didn't even have to take this cover off, as you can tell. So, sick. I'm gonna throw the other one on real quick. We'll get the wheels back on it, get it lowered down, see how bouncy it is. All right, got the shocks in, got the wheels on. I did roll the fenders a little bit, tapped them with a hammer. Man, this thing looks so fucking good right now. Check that out. That thing is beefed. Man, I cannot wait to drive this car. Oh, it's gonna be so much fun. It's gonna be a handful. All right, rear suspension off the to-do list. All right, so knock on wood, but that went way smoother than I thought it would. I thought I was gonna spend most of my day fucking with that thing. The Turbo LS RX-7 is one step closer to being ready to sit all winter long. But that is going to do it for today, because it's still a little chilly out here. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. We'll see you next time.